Goofy. Hello. Hey Ren. Hey Phoenix. I hope you're having a good day. I'm making cookies right now, and I made this channel kind of as like a proposal. I talk about Hank Green and John Green a lot. Sometimes in our conversations, and we talk about doing something a lot in our conversations, like having a channel or making a podcast or just some place to have our conversations. But what usually happens is we either don't have, like, we either have a conversation and we just have the conversation, and then sometime at the end of the conversation we're like, shit, we should have been recording that, like this would have ate. Anyways, we'll have to do it next time, or we'll just schedule something, or we'll just plan something. And then comes option 2, which is that we don't schedule anything and we don't plan anything, and then we cycle back to option 1, where we have a whole conversation finally, and we don't film it, and we're like, oh yeah, we need to remember to. Anyways, I digress. You get the picture. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun if we did something like what John and Hank Green do over on their Vlog Brothers channel, where they essentially like send each other vlogs, but they're public, like everybody can see them, and listen along to the conversations. And in these vlogs, we can talk about things that have sparked our interest or things that's been going on. Internet safety in mind. Don't be telling all y'all business. We can still have our private conversations. But if you have any insights or wisdom, or if anything that somebody else says in one of their videos sparks a conversation, then I just thought that this would be a fun opportunity for us to like actually do that. But it's not scheduled, and we don't all have to be together, so it's just significantly more likely to happen. Anyways, this is my first offering towards that idea. If you want to participate, you know what to do, which is record a video. I'll send you the details for this YouTube channel, and we can start vlogging. And it can be like we're writing letters or whatever, something cute, something light, something for the girls. For everybody else who's watching this, my name is Zell. I use they, them pronouns. I am making cookies. I feel like I'm a lot of things. But one thing that I am is a friend of Wren and Phoenix. Together, we got some serious 3 of Cups energy. So, welcome. Just today, something cool and magical happened. I don't know if y'all do this, but sometimes I'm like, am I making shit up? You know what I'm saying? Like, to an extent, it's very clear to me, like in a spiritual, esoteric sense, like, what's going on. In another extent, I have no fucking clue what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But to an extent, I'm like, okay, like, I'm here. I feel like I opted into this existence. I feel like I'm an extension of God's consciousness, in order to experience the other extensions of God's consciousness, to explore and to perceive and to feel and to grow and to become and to happen, and one arm of that is like a very like sciencey arm of that, like Big Bang, well, I don't even know about Big Bang. Well, yeah, I guess I do. Like Big Bang, just existence and experience, and then everything as a happening. And then I kind of perceive the spiritual aspect of that as God being in that happening, but God also being the catalyst, God being the thing that is being acted upon, with the intention of, you know, reflection, investigation, experiencing. I don't know. But there's a sciencey aspect of it in terms of just like evolution exists, and like that's kind of the beauty of it to me. There's the spiritual aspect of it in that like evolution exists. Like things have been, like life has been and will keep being, and things keep changing, and that's, mind blowing. So I feel like that's like that's like a very, I don't know, that feels like relatively realistic and grounded to me. I don't know if that is, I don't know, but that feels realistic and grounded to me. But I feel like there's an inherent level of like magic-iness in that. Man, I don't remember what step comes next with these cookies, so I guess I'm gonna pause on that because I'm talking. I guess I'll keep stirring. There's like an inherent magic to that in my mind, and I feel like that inherent magic is clear as day. Like if God is happening, then anything that happens is God. Catch that. If God is the happening, then them three birds flying by, if I'm the one to see them, could be something God's trying to communicate to me. If God is the happening, then, Moses could show up at a riverbank at the exact day and moment that the riverbank decides to split. It's an act of miracle, but it's also timing. That's alignment with the happening of God. If you show up when God says do the thing, then the thing happens. You were there to make it happen. You were a catalyst. You were necessary to the enaction of that. But the thing is happening as what? I don't know. The thing is happening. And that's God. But anyways, I digress. This was all to say that sometimes I'm like, is that a little bit crazy? To be like, all this happening is God and magic exists, and if I really, really think hard enough, then one day, like, I'll be able to pull that towards me. And I don't really give a fuck if it's me enacting my will upon that object and it's coming towards me, or if God decided to blow a breeze and it came towards me at the same time that I stuck out my hand. I don't care one way or another, because to me, from my perspective, that's magic. It's like, is that a little bit crazy? Is that a little bit delusional? I don't know. But then I have experiences like I had today where I was laying in my bed, and there was this ant crawling on the wall. And I've been kind of at peace with bugs recently. They're here. And honestly, I appreciate most of y'all. I have a garden. You do a lot of the work, You're moving nutrients on the ground. You're making airways for the plants. You're pollinating. You're eating my plants. But you're also shitting in the soil, fertilizing. You're living and dying down there. You're living your life. And that just happens to be beneficial towards me. So whatever, that's fine. At the same time, sometimes it's like when you're in my house, you're living your life and it's no longer beneficial towards me. Does that make it fair for me to then enact my will and kill that bug? Sometimes I'm like, it doesn't, It really doesn't. So I've gotten really lax on my bug boundaries lately. My room is in general a firm no, though. Like, a moth can come into the house and be in the kitchen. You know, I'm not gonna kill you on sight. I'm gonna do my best to lure you outside. For most bugs, I'll catch them and I'll let them outside or something. I just don't want you in my house. But in my room, if I'm trying to sleep and I have to worry about you crawling on me, on sight. Sorry. I do make the rules in this case. So there was an ant, and it was one of them like big soldiering ants, you know, the ones that is like chunky and thick and black and you can see it from a distance, was crawling up on my wall. And at first I was just gonna let Shorty live, you know, they was just crawling on the wall. They didn't seem to be coming anywhere towards me. But then I realized that there's not really many places for this ant to go, because they started just doing this figure 8 on the wall by the yarn that I have on a shelf up there. And they were getting lost and tangled in the yarn and then coming out and doing another figure 8. And I was like, honestly, I hate this. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this ant do this. And then also, like, either you stay in this corner until you die, or you miraculously find your way out of this loop that you've got yourself in and out of my room of your own volition. And at this point, I don't think that's likely. So I took it upon myself to kill the ant. And I got a little paper towel and I smushed the ant and I threw it away. And I was about to get back into bed. I mean, I was already in bed. Like, I literally just crawled up and then smooshed against the wall, leaned back over, dropped it in, and I'm sitting there looking at my hand, and I just felt like I had death on my hand. And I was like, well, I killed an ant just now. I probably do have death on my hand. Like, I felt that shit die. And then I was like, well, should I go wash my hands before I lay me down back to rest in my bed? Like, it's a little, do I want to bring this into bed with me? And then I looked out of my window and there was this beautiful crow sitting in the trees in the forest, and she was just like preening, like just like chilling and cleaning herself or whatever. But I've been thinking about crows as an omen of death, and like the idea, I think it's like a, what's it called when you're afraid of things? Like breaking a mirror. Starts with an S. I don't know. Not a suspicion. But you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so it was one of those. About, is that a bug in my cookies? That's what I'm talking about them being where they're not supposed to be at. This is where you're not supposed to be at. My goddamn cookies. Anyways. Good thing I didn't mix it in. I think. What was I talking about? Superstition. Anyways, so superstition about crows being outside the window signaling death, like somebody in the household is about to die. And I was like, now I'm looking at this crow outside my window, and I certainly just killed somebody in my household, so that confirms that I do have death on my hand. And then I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I should go wash my hands so I can lay me down. I don't really want to get up. And then I was like, I wonder if I can do an oil wash of my hands, because I got some oil right by my bed. And I picked up and I said, well, I guess there's only one way to find out, to see if I feel clean after I wash my hands with the oil. So I put the oil on my hands and I washed it around and I washed it around. And I'm watching the crow this whole entire time, mind you. And wondering if how I would know, or if I would know. Not even if I would know. I guess I just figured I would know when I would know if it worked. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, and so then I take a paper towel and I wipe off the oil off of my hands. And I shit you not, when I got to my last pinky, the crow finished preening herself and flew off into the woods. And I was like, Yeah. That's it. I was just like, yeah, exactly. So I guess the oil cleanse did work, but also that's magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, this crow was just minding her business. Like, she was just there when I looked outside, and she also left when she decided to leave. But that was also God telling me about the energies in my space. And me taking, like me doing something, like I cleansed the death off of my hands, and the death left my windows. Like, not the death, but you know, that spirit or that energy or whatever. The signifier, who came in the form of this crow this time, she was on her merry way. And I just thought that was cool and also cute. I laughed out loud for like 3 minutes. But yeah, so that was like a fun little experience I had today with God and with spirit. Yeah. I guess that's the end of this one. We can make these however long we want. I'm long-winded, so I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try, maybe I'll do like a cap for like, so they do a cap on Vlogbrothers of like 4 minutes, and I think they do that so that it feels like approachable and feasible and also not like actually super long. They suspended the cap when Hank got cancer because they had more stuff that they needed to talk about. And I don't know if they still have the cap or not, but we can decide how we want to do it. This is just like a proposition, an idea. I thought it was cute. Man, this is bugging me. I thought it was cute. And I extend the invitation to you. Where's my camera? Here, take it. I'm gonna be making these cookies. I'll send you a picture later because I actually made some cookies like 3 days ago and ate all them bitches. And then I had leftover batter and I ate all of them bitches. This is the last cookie. So now I'm making more cookies because they were very good. I'll send you the recipe too because it was like a mini cookie thing. And it was supposed to be 10-minute cookies. These do not take 10 minutes. I've been here for 20 minutes just now talking to y'all, and all I've done is stirred this. But theoretically, it could be like maybe a half an hour prep. And if you don't include how much time it takes to actually scoop out the cookie doughs and roll them into balls, then it might actually be like 15 minutes. It's really easy and they're good cookies. So whatever. I'm rambling at this point. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bisous, bisous. Bye-bye.